Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review The Alto Nights, and this is a new period drama gangster flick coming your way from director Barry Levinson and writer Nicholas Pileggi. And this film features Robert De Niro playing both Frank Costello, the big head honcho of the mafia, and his very volatile former friend and very dangerous underling, Vito Genovese. And this film focuses on the fact that Genovese tries to have Costello assassinated at the beginning of the film, and the events that follow really shaking up the whole entire mafia, and this is based on true events. I feel like Barry Levinson might be a little rusty. He hasn't made a whole lot of films in the past 10 years. I think this is his third film, including that Paterno Al Pacino film for HBO. So even just like something that made it to the big screen, he hasn't made a whole lot of films as of late. And there's something a little clunky, something a little too old-fashioned about this film. There's certain elements that really do work from a directing standpoint. I do appreciate like how it incorporates, I think the narration by De Niro as an older Frank Costello does really work in a very Scorsese kind of way, and how it uses newscasts and all these old-timey pictures and newspaper headlines as an added little storytelling device to give context, I think does work. I do feel like, though, that this film is going for like a grittier feel, but honestly just kind of feels grayed out and bland. And there's some editing choices for like disorientation, but just feels sloppy and makes some big moments, including that opening assassination scene, feel really disheveled and not put together particularly well. So, and pacing-wise, this doesn't exactly have the most consistent and effective pace. It's a little over 2 hours, and it feels it. I do feel like this story kind of feels like the greatest hits of mob movies. There's a lot of familiar beats, and it really shows when it does something different and how much it stands out. The big climax of the film on this farm offers up something a little bit different, and that is honestly one of the best sequences in the film. I do feel like this just leans too heavily into been there, done that. I see the film that I've seen this better in, and that's not a good way to be navigating a story. It takes you out of it. And I think Robert De Niro does a fine job in both performances. I do think as Frank Costello, he's much more effective as this aged one who's telling us back this story. But honestly, on some level, I think it would have been more impactful if you did have a slightly younger actor bringing a different kind of energy. And also, he feels a bit tired at times, and not purposefully. It feels like there's a bit of a lack of impact. And then you have Genovese, who I think he's a little bit limited under all the makeup they put him under. And then also he's really just trying to feel like Joe Pesci from Goodfellas and Casino. And I kind of just wish they could have gotten Joe Pesci. But, you know, maybe that wasn't an option. I just feel like they could have gotten at least one of these actors different. And, like, I get the idea of, like, ooh, we're going to get two De Niro performances. But it just doesn't work. And you have Deborah Messing, who plays Costello's wife, who's just like wide-eyed and stiff and feels like she's putting on a performance throughout the whole film, and that's not really effective. I feel like the only person that really stands out here is Michael Rispoli, who plays Albert Anastasia, who's like the right-hand man to Frank Costello. I really like his character. I think he gives a really good performance. He feels genuine and authentic. A lot of the others along the way who don't get as much to do in the film also feel very authentic and genuine, and feel like, you know, these just could have been a bunch of Italian guys that they got off the street and threw them into the movie. But I really do think Rispoli sticks out well in this film. In general, I think this is a watchable, entertaining enough mobster movie. It just feels very tired, too old-fashioned, and just doesn't click in ways that I think the film expects it to. And, you know, I'm not going to say De Niro was miscast, but I do feel like somebody else could have brought a little bit more to either one of these roles. And at the end of the day, sure, this is a bit gimmicky. But, you know, if you like mob movies, like I said, it has the greatest hits. It'll hit those beats, and you'll enjoy that at least. But those are my thoughts on the Alto Knights. Let me know what you think, and let's talk some movies. But thank you as always for tuning in and supporting your Wasteland reviewer.